G'day, Tony Angus here with Telling It Like It Is tips for managing conflict and aggression. And you can see it's an absolutely perfect day here in Melbourne, so I thought I'd get out and about to share this one. I was watching television and I was watching a reality show. I used to be opposed to these reality shows until I found that you can actually watch one and take them from an anthropological, sort of sociological study standpoint. And so I was watching a particularly appalling one. And what I noticed in this reality show was the number of times that one of the protagonists in the show, when he was dealing with another woman, the number of times that he completely ignored his own bad behaviour and focused on the bad behaviour of the other person. And so he was avoiding commenting to the camera about anything he'd done. And I guess the producer or the assistant director or whoever was in charge of that scene at that moment had asked him a question about, well, what's just happened? He and a female had had an argument and she'd wandered off. And the assistant director has asked a question about, well, what do you think's happened? And he said, I don't know, she just got upset and walked away. And that's typical of arguments where we minimise our own input and maximise the input of others. So people will, in order to deflect blame from themselves, they'll say things like, oh, I don't know, that person just did this. And so if there's an argument and a party in the argument gets upset, then the other person just says, oh, they just get upset, or they just got upset. But they don't mention any of the things they personally did to create that environment, to make the other person get upset. And so I find it bemusing that people seem to have so little personal insight. And so if you look to my Escalating Behaviour series on emotional intelligence, and we talk a little bit about self-awareness, but this idea of personal insight into your own involvement, your own behaviours, and to the way they affect your transactions with other people and affect other people's moods. This is extremely important. You must be aware, almost consciously, of the effect that you're having on other people. And you can't then just go, oh, I don't know, they walked away. As if nothing prior to that matters. Okay, so I punched them in the face, but they just walked away. Well, wait a minute, you punched them in the face, So that's an extreme example, of course. You may notice this phenomenon yourself when you're dealing with people where in an argument they tend to just want to focus on what you did. Yeah, but you raised your voice. And you say, well, hang on, I raised my voice because you insulted me. And they say, well, there's no need to raise your voice. And you say, well, hang on, there's no need to be insulting either. So we're both to blame here. In fact, if I'm going to tell it exactly like it is, your responsibility in a discussion and in an argument is on you and your behaviours. And you may recall in another Telling It Like It Is post I did, I discussed fix you first. That in conflict situations, you don't deal with the other person, you deal with you first. Then once you've settled you down, when you view the conflict, maybe you're viewing it with different eyes and maybe you're in a better position, you're thinking more in a balanced manner about what just took place. And so you're better able to then manage the other person because you've managed you. In any relationship, what's really key is my responsibility is making sure you're okay. And in order to do that, I've got to look at modifying me. Your responsibility is to make sure I'm okay, and to do that, you look at modifying you. So if we're in an argument, my job is to make sure that I adjust what I'm thinking and doing and being, and you do the same, and that way we're looking after each other. I think there's nothing less mature than pointing fingers all the time. Yeah, but you did, and yeah, but you said. It's so kiddie playground. So take responsibility for your own actions, particularly in conflict situations. Some of the things that have occurred wouldn't have occurred if it wasn't for you and your involvement. If you're not willing to put your hand up to that, then you're operating in the kiddie playground. And you know what? You should be embarrassed. Guys, if you've enjoyed this, same as every time, hit like, hit share. Make sure you share it amongst your community as well. We're an ever-growing community of people who want to learn to communicate better and to be mature and balanced about our conversations and our discussions and our dialogue with others. Make sure you create an account to YouTube, and then you can subscribe to the channel, and you can leave comments and be involved and create a discussion all on your own. So that'd be fantastic. I'd really enjoy that. I hope you have a great day wherever you're from. Be good to each other, take responsibility. Righto, ciao for now.